Hey, what's up, YouTubers? So, my name is Amanda Shelton, and I'm the CEO and owner of Black Wealth Matters LLC in Richmond, Virginia. So, I am your host for tonight, and this is the first of many financial related videos to help inspire and encourage you to be better stewards of your financial future. So, I posted earlier on my Facebook page about a topic related to ownership in the ATM machine industry, and so this is what this video is about, is helping you and providing the steps on how you can be involved in owning your own ATM business. Because who doesn't need access to cash, right? So, the ATM business is a business that's been forever lucrative because people need access to cash, and sometimes trying to find your own bank that you bank with can sometimes be a challenge. So, that's why ATM machines are important. So, one of the first steps to owning your own ATM business is you need an ATM. On average, an ATM machine can cost you from about $2,000 to $3,000. So a lot of people, you probably like, well, I don't have that kind of cash laying around. I don't have 2 to 3 grand available that I could use to purchase my ATM machine outright, and that's understandable. So you may choose a couple of different options to fund your ATM machine. You may decide to go in with a couple of other friends. You put up some money and then you share the ownership. It may be an option. But if that's not an option, then guess what? You can lease your ATM machine if you want. So there is a company called mobilemoney.net. And I want to pause here and say that I'm not affiliated with mobilemoney.net. I am not receiving any type of commissions or referrals from them, but they're just a source that I know and have verified and vetted that they are in the business of helping people with obtaining their ATM machine ownership through the use of their leasing program. So go ahead and pick back up and state that again. Moneymobile.net is a source where you can lease your ATM machine if you're not able to purchase it outright. Okay, so now that we've got those logistics out the way about where you can go to get your ATM machine, one of the most, if not the most important aspect of ATM machine ownership is where you're going to place it. So, of course, you need to place your ATM machine in a location that is going to be considered high traffic. Obviously, you can't make money if people aren't using the ATM machine. So, location, geography is important in terms of where you're putting your ATM machine. And obviously, you don't want to put your ATM machine somewhere where there is already another ATM machine because, again, it's going to limit the use of your ATM machine unless there's just so much traffic coming through there that it's going to make sense to do that. So, again, going back to the mobile money about leasing your ATM machine, they're really great because they not only can provide you with that leasing option, but they can install it, provide you your service, provide your maintenance, and ongoing training to help you with your ATM machine business. So they aren't just delivering your equipment and kind of leaving you out to dry and saying, hey, we'll check you out later. They provide ongoing support in case you have any questions or issues going forward. So, other things that you're going to need for your ATM business. Okay, you're going to need to make sure that the location that you're putting it has a 110-volt outlet. Okay, the outlet has to be 110 volt in order to be able to handle the capacity of an ATM machine. So, that is very important. You can't get around that, so you need to make sure that you have that. Also, you need to make sure that you have a strong wireless communication system. So, wireless internet, it has to be strong to handle the potential traffic that may come with having an ATM machine. Because if you've ever been a customer and you've gone to ATM machine and you've seen that it was out of service, how frustrated did that make you, right? And it may have been something just as simple as not being able to properly communicate with the ATM machine because the internet connection did not have the capacity to handle that bandwidth. Okay, so we talked about how you can lease. We talked about location. We talked about some of the general requirements, such as the 110-volt outlet as well as wireless connection. also very important with any business that you have. You should have business insurance. Okay. There was a movie, I can't quite remember the name of it, but someone tried to attempt to steal an ATM machine. Now, the chances of that happening, are kind of slim. People really aren't stealing ATM machines, but you never know. Trust and believe that the ATM machine is definitely protected with armor type of material. So it's not easy to get into an ATM machine. If someone does decide to take it, the chances of them getting into it is going to be really, really tough. Okay. It's protected with like the jaws of life. You're not just getting in that ATM machine. But again, you still want to have insurance. Reason being, it can get damaged, um, faulty equipment, whatever the case may be. And especially if you own that ATM machine, you definitely want to make sure that you have insurance protection in case something does happen to it. Because again, this is one of the streams of income for you. So you want to make sure that you protect it. Also, what you want to make sure that you have is a great banking relationship. Obviously, you got to get paid. You have the ATM machine, but you need to have somewhere to receive your money. So, you want to make sure that your bank or whatever bank that you choose to use for your business has you've met those requirements and you're able to have that type of business with that particular bank. Not all banks accept certain business types, so you want to make sure that your particular bank accepts you doing this type of business. Okay. Also, what you want to make sure to have in place is contracts and agreements with your merchants, with the facility owners that you're going to place your ATM at. You want to make sure to have contracts and agreements in place that specify, and I mean very, very specific, the details about that ATM machine being placed there. Okay. It needs to be very specific to the T. Don't leave anything out. Make sure there's no gray area, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you talking to and having a attorney look over your legal documents. With all things, you want to make sure that you talk to professionals only, people who are certified and have licensing to do what they are doing. So, therefore, you don't make the mistake of getting told the wrong information. Okay? So, again, purchasing your ATM machine, we covered that you can do that using mobilemoney.net. You can purchase it outright or you can lease. Location, high traffic area is a must. Making sure that you have a strong wireless internet connection because you don't want to have your ATM machine keep going out of service for those type of issues. 110 volt outlet is absolutely necessary. Having contracts and agreements with your merchants and the business owners who own the facility. And then lastly, but certainly not least, making sure that you have a proper business bank account and you've talked to a legal professional about the legality and the language in your contracts. Okay, so we discussed all of that. So what's next, right? You can go and you can visit the mobilemoney.net website. And I want to make a disclaimer that I'm in no way affiliated with this particular company. They're just someone who I've personally used and I have vetted, and I know that they provide outstanding service in terms of purchasing or leasing your ATM machine. So I am in no way affiliated nor make any commission for recommending them. You can choose to Google whoever you want to purchase your ATM machine. I just know that they're a credible source. I also want to make sure that you know, please, please, please avoid purchasing old equipment. I know it's very attractive and it could save you some money, but you want to make sure to purchase the latest and greatest because you want to make sure that you meet the EMV standards and you're not having to spend a lot of time getting old ATMs reprogrammed. Okay, so I know again it could be attractive to purchase an old ATM machine, but in the long run, save yourself some time and some trouble and go ahead and purchase one that is up to date, the latest and greatest, and that's going to meet EMV standards. Okay, so again, I want to also stress this point. As with anything,